Hello, this is Felicia Moore, your host for Realty Resources and Realities, wishing you a happy new year. It's 2025, y'all. Let's get started off on a good foot. We'll be right back. Hello there. Happy 2025. Yes, it's the beginning of a new year, and I want to thank all of you who, in previous years, tuned into this show. I'm going to ask you, as I do always, to please like the video because that helps get it out to other people. Share some of the content when you find that it's something that you know someone else can use, and encourage them as well as you to subscribe. Please subscribe and make sure you hit that all notification bell so you won't miss a show. I guarantee you, we're going to be bringing you some good content here in 2025. But today, I want to give you some updates. Some good, some not so good, and then others, just a brief recap of 2024. So first of all, I want you to use Exit Realty West Midtown. We're here on 2024 Donnelly Hollywood Parkway. Use us as a resource. If you have a meeting, let me come and talk for 3 to 5 minutes just to give people some information that they may need to know about their property. Or let's schedule an informational meeting for people that you may know. Let's use me. What I love to do is to share information and be a resource for the community. And that's what our company is committed to. If you just have a real estate question, I have people call me all the time. It's not going to cost you a penny to ask me a question, and I'm not going to charge you a penny to answer it. We just want to be a resource. We want to make sure that what we know can help you in the community. So please reach out to me at Ask Felicia at exitwestmidtown.com. That's my email. Ask Felicia at exitwestmidtown.com. Or you can text Ask Felicia to 85377. That's Ask Felicia to 85377. So today, what are we going to talk about? I'm going to give you an update on the thing that is stuck in my craw and still isn't gone away, but it's a little better, on the property deed theft. They're stealing people's properties right out from under our noses. And I talked about how you can protect yourself the best that you can. But there is a legislative update from the state of Georgia. I want to just recap some things that we talked about, particularly from our Renting Rights series, and then talk about what we should expect in 2025. And one of the things I want to expect in 2025 is for you to reach out to me with my contact information there if there are subjects or topics that you would like to hear from. Real estate is such a vast industry, from industrial to land, agricultural, commercial, residential income property. It's vast and it's wide. And so I want to make sure that we're giving information to you that you can use. We also just recently had, which would have been in 2024, another homebuyers seminar. So we'll be bringing that information. There's some information from the previous one already in our playlist. If you would like to purchase property this year, that's some good things to look back at. If you are looking to rent property, I'm going to suggest very heavily that you go back in the playlist and look at those 10 tips from our Renting Right series, because I gave a deep, deep dive of things that you may not consider. You may just say, hey, I want to rent a new place, or I'm getting out of my lease, I'm getting ready to move. But there are things that people don't think about, and I give you every detail that I could possibly give. But the number one tip that I talked about that you cannot escape, and you should not escape, otherwise you're really going to be in trouble. And this goes also for people who are looking to purchase property in 2025. Budget. We have a lot of uncertainty out here in terms of interest rates, mortgage costs, property costs, all of those things. So your budget, what income you have coming in and what you have going out, becomes very much important. And particularly when you're talking about housing, when 30% of your income, your monthly income, should go to housing related expenses. If you're in the 40 and 50% range, you're going to be in trouble. So I'm asking you to go back and look at that, and particularly think about step number one. If you're going to purchase a home, if you're getting ready to rent, is it a smart time now to go out and buy a brand new car and add that expense? Will that eat into what they would look at as what you can afford for leasing or leasing or purchasing a property? So I'm asking you to please go back and look at that. You're going to find some tips and things that you didn't think of. It's more expensive than you think. It's just not a matter of finding the place, filling out an application, getting approved, and moving in. Because if you don't have that budget that includes things like their moving costs, etc., you could find yourself in big trouble. But I can't recap all of that here today, but I do encourage you to go back and look at that. The other thing I want to talk about is the thing that I talked about most of last year, was this property deed theft problem. It's happening all over the country. So if you don't live in the state of Georgia, don't worry. It's happening where you are, and this information can be helpful to you in your state. You will just have to Google for some direct information in your state. One of the things that I talked about is the fact that people are still able, until the law kicks in this year in 2025, to go to the clerk's office and file a deed in their name or whatever information in their name, and be able to transfer the property to them. So let me take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to tell you some great updates. So at the bottom of your screen, you see where you can register your property. And this is the first line of defense. The state of Georgia takes all of the clerk's office and all of their filings, and you can get an alert from them to let them know if someone has filed something on your particular property under your particular name, etc. So you would definitely want to register there, and you see it, the website there. I also encourage people to do the same in your county, just so you have a double way of knowing about that. And that means, for me, it's Fulton County, so I put down Fulton County's registration and how you can go about registering at Fulton County and that clerk's office. Sign up for all of the alerts that you can sign up for. This way, how it helps is if you don't register your property, you probably don't know someone went down there and did this. So it could be 5 years, 7 years, 7 months later, you go to sell your property or to do something, and what do you find out? You have title issues. Yes, because someone has come and registered the property in, not registered, but transferred the deed in their name. They've stole your deed for various reasons, and now you have all of these issues. And because it's been so long, you got to go through court action to get your property back. Some people are successful, unfortunately, some are not. So you want to register so you get that alert. So immediately you will know someone has done something and you can get an attorney and immediately try to resolve that. So that's one thing. But what's the update? The great update is starting in 2025, the state legislature has passed a law that would make the person who is filing to present ID. So at least you have some idea of who that person is. Now, of course, if you're a thief, you're going to find a way around that. You're going to find a way to get a false ID or some way around that. So that is a help, and that's great. So that's a start, but I do encourage you still to register. That is not going to stop the issue. We're also finding now that they may have to do some other things because people don't have to file with an ID to evict you. And so we're having homeowners who are getting eviction notices from people of their own home, and nobody knows who these people are. So that's something to come and something that they will be working on. So please register your property. I'll leave this up here for a second. Because I want you to understand that this ID requirement, which is a great news that they're going to require people to have IDs to do this, is not necessarily going to stop it. So registering your property and being able to jump on it quickly is a good thing. I also probably myself will talk to some state legislators because I am originally from Indiana. And I was at home visiting my mom, and I had some paperwork come to me that was real estate related. And I had to get a special notary. I couldn't just go up to the store down the street or whatever and have them to notarize the documents. And he explained to me that in the state of Indiana, there's a certain level of notary that you have to have. And I know he took my ID, he verified that. All of this information, which some of that information they're now requiring notaries in Georgia to do to keep records. But he explained to me that in order to do those type of transactions, you had to have a special notary. And I think that's something we need to do because a lot of people, it's very easy to become a notary and they are falsifying documents or helping in this falsification of documents by notarizing things. So that's another thing that they can also do. But as long as you have something of value and an asset, there's going to be somebody who's trying to steal it from you. So we'll talk about this more again in 2025. Our next show, I want to talk about some deadlines that are coming up and why you should consider on those deadlines and making sure that you have done all that you need to do. And we just want to make sure that we're prepared for this new year. And I would love to hear from you. I'd love to get your topics that you would like to hear. Again, you can always reach out to me at askfelicia@exitwestmidtown.com. We're located here at 1024 Donnelly Hollowell Parkway, or you can text Ask Felicia to 85377, and I'll reach out to you if you reach out to me, and I'd love to come and see your group. So for now, that's the end of this particular show, but I will see you in 2 weeks where we will continue to talk about those things, all things real estate, realty, resources, and the realities. And believe me, we don't want the realities that are coming up. So here's the contact information. I'll see you at our next show. Happy New Year!